Thanks for stopping by the video. And you were tapped into my review for Real Housewives. Porsha Family Matters Season 1, Episode 2. So let's get to it. Before we get into this episode, y'all know I like to talk about the drama that's online. But the first thing I want to talk about is Miss Drew Clown Sedora. Y'all, Drew is morphing into Porsha. And it's crazy because I remember when people were saying that Drew was still on the show and when Porsha decided she was leaving, that like Drew was going to begin to look a little bit like Porsha because of how much she was on Porsha. And the truth of the matter is, people weren't lying, and Porsha is peeping it too. I couldn't remember the exact picture, but there was a picture of Drew where Porsha Slick was like, oh my gosh, girl, I thought that was me. Like, she knows what Drew is doing. Also, I remember a lot of YouTubers who've been reviewing the Real Housewives for like forever, saying that how like when one lady leaves the cast, they always try to get someone who is like similar to that person or exactly like that person who is leaving the cast, so that it doesn't shake up the dynamic too much if they like the dynamic that they have. And I think that's what they're doing with Drew, in my opinion, because ever since Porsha has not been on the show, Drew has slowly begun to morph into like a mini Porsha. And it's crazy. But I just thought we would talk about that because she got on my, like, y'all know I think she's a clown because of all the antics that she pulled last season on Real Housewives of Atlanta, calling Latoya a Delilah spirit. But you're not going to clock or check your friend or act like it's not weird what Porsha has done, or the way Porsha and Simon's relationship has come to fruition makes you look like a clown to me. But that's either here nor there. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Mr. Simon and his legal troubles. So it's looking like Simon owes somebody some money, allegedly. But this is an article that was posted on Radar Online. So if you want to read it in its entirety, go check that website out. I will say I take everything from Radar Online with a grain of salt. Because if I don't know, maybe it's because I feel like Radar Online is more associated with like media takeout, and we all know media takeout just be making up lies. But I can say that most things that come out of Radar Online are true, but not everything. So that's why I take everything from them with a grain of salt. But basically the headline says exclusive: Porsha Williams' fiance Simon Guobadia sued for $200K in a fight over a $5.8 million Florida mansion. So just a brief synopsis. This is what the article is saying, that says, in a suit, Susie, who is supposed to be the realtor he was discussing purchasing the $5.8 million home from, says that Simon agreed to purchase her Fort Lauderdale home for $5.8 million with a $200K deposit. The parties negotiated for a bid before reaching a final agreement. The home in question is 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and 7,078 square feet, 3-story estate. So what the article is alleging is that Simon and the realtor, I guess Susie, came to an agreement where allegedly he was supposed to put down $200K in a deposit. So if you're used to, I would say it's basically like if you're buying an apartment, like we all know you have to put down a deposit. And then sometimes depending on the way your lease is set up, like either you forfeit your deposit when you leave when you break your lease, or you get it when it's like time for you to leave and like when they check your place and you don't have any damages. So that's from my apartment, people. We know. But basically, I guess Simon was supposed to put down that much money, $200K, and he didn't. And if you continue reading the article, so really go check it out if you want to know more. Supposedly, Miss Susie can't find him, allegedly. Like, they've been trying to serve him the paperwork to take him to court so that she can get her money back, but they can't find Mr. Simon. So I'm just kind of like, well, girl, he on this TV show, so clearly he's in Atlanta, but maybe he's not in Atlanta. But yeah, she says she can't find him. And this makes me think that like Porsha really didn't think out what it would be like attaching herself to this person. Because if you're saying that y'all only been together for 2 months, then you don't know that person really. You're still meeting their representative. A lot of people say that by maybe like 4 months into a relationship, you really meet the real person that you're dating. So I just find it odd that Porsha doesn't know this. And then I know on the Tamron Hall interview, and we're going to talk about that too, she said that they put a down payment on a home and they just found their dream home. So hopefully they can get this squared away before they move into their new home. But it's not looking too good for Mr. Guabadia. So this Tamron Hall video. Well, not video. It was an interview. So Porsha was on the Tamron Hall show last week. And basically, Tamron Hall got Porsha together in the most professionalist way I have ever seen, because she was sifting through Porsha's BS. So supposedly on in the background, I guess Porsha said she was nervous to talk to Miss Tamra, and when Porsha gets on stage, Tamra immediately is like, "So I heard you were nervous," and I said, "Oh, that's when I knew it was gonna be an interview full of shade," because I'm like, why are you asking her if she's nervous? I bet you there's a lot of people who are nervous to do interviews with you. So I'm like, girl, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. So then as they're talking, Tamron Hall basically was like, "So when y'all get married?" And Porsha was like, "We're still in the honeymoon phase. We're courting, in the South we court." And Tamara was like, "Girl, I'm Southern. Like when I got engaged to my husband, we set a date, we got married. So what are you talking about the honeymoon phase?" And like a lot of people are online were saying like, "Porsha, you can't be in the honeymoon phase if you're not married." And I'm like, yes, sis, like you can't be in the honeymoon stage if you're not married. And then Portia's like, we're getting to know each other. And I was like, and I think that's the issue with Porsha that keeps getting her tripped up. It's like you rush to get engaged. It seems like no one told y'all to just get engaged. You and Simon rushed to get engaged, and now people have all these pressing questions about like, hey, you got this man around your child and y'all haven't only known what you have been telling people for like a month or 2 months. You don't really know him, but he's been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. So what about this person is drawing you to him? And Tamron Hall basically caught her up in her lies, but did it in a nice way. And then they talked about Porsha's book, which I wasn't buying that book, but Tisa tells, if you're a member of her channel, they do like a members only like live, and then she re-uploads it onto her channel for like people who aren't members. And I watched that the other day, and she gave like a really good in-depth like review of like the first 4 chapters, and like really and truly it's all over the place. The book is all over the place, and I'm not even someone that reads. I'm more into manga, as y'all can see. But like for being in school and having to read, I understand. But hearing her read excerpts from the book, the book is all over the place, and you can definitely tell that Porsha had a ghostwriter, which isn't anything wrong with that, because that's what they're there for. They're there to help you bring your thoughts to fruition and to make it palatable for the people you are marketing to. But I don't think that book is doing her any favors, and I definitely don't think the show is doing her any favors. No, man. Let's get into this review. This is Porsha Family Matters. This is season 1, episode 2. So it opens up with Lauren and Porsha talking, and I guess this is a scene that's supposed to set us up for like the whole spiritual retreat counseling thing that they're supposed to be doing in Mexico, because Lauren has let us know that like she no longer is Porsha's assistant. She is still co-owner with Porsha for their Go Naked Hair weave line, but Lauren has decided to dedicate all her time and effort into becoming like a yoga instructor, teaching those meditation and being like a holistic counselor, which I feel like that's a good look for her, because we can tell that that's what Lauren is legitly like into. So they're talking, and Lauren basically lets Porsha know that she is, she told Dennis that he could come to the dinner, like Porsha's Sunday barbecue for her like last birthday hurrah for her 40th. So they're gonna have like a birthday barbecue, and Lauren said, I told Dennis he could bring a date. So then Porsha tells on herself about how she kind of feels, in the sense of like, she was like, why would you tell him that? Like, I don't want no girl in my house eating at my table, sitting next to my man. And Lauren's like, yo, man. And Lauren said, that is why everyone thinks that you and Dennis still have something, because Dennis told me he thinks you're still in love with him. And Porsha was like, I'm not still in love with him. I got love for him. And this is where the issue for me in Porsha and her Bed of Lies comes, is like, there's too much like intertwining. Like legit, you and Dennis were like on like showing Christmas photos and Christmas, and then all of a sudden you pop up with Simon. And then like, it would have been different if Simon and you continually just decided to like date and get to know each other. But for you to be like, let's get married, like let's get engaged, it's like, it makes the relationship a lot more serious, because it's like y'all are talking about binding each other together with a marriage. And I don't think Porsha thought that through. And I remember someone saying like, well, maybe Porsha decided to like marry him because of Jessica Rabbit. And if y'all don't know who Jessica Rabbit is, that was that girl that like, when the whole debacle came out about Simon and Fallon and Porsha breaking up, I think she was a light-skinned girl. Some people say she was white, but her name on Twitter, or not Twitter, but like on IG is like Jessica Rabbit or something like that. And Simon would have been messing with her. So a lot of people feel like maybe Porsha gave Simon like an ultimatum and was like, either you gonna lock me down and prove to me that you and that girl didn't have nothing, or I'm done. Because it doesn't make sense why they chose to get engaged. So Porsha does a rebuttal, and she's like, no, I didn't mean my man. I meant like, you know, because Simon is my man and I'm happy. And it's just like, it's crazy that like Porsha is getting this like edit, because a lot of people have always said that the reason why Real Housewives of Atlanta was kind of like going down was because production was protecting Porsha. A lot of people feel like last season could have been a good season, but they did so much to protect Porsha, because there was like a rumor going around that like Porsha and Kandi got into it because you know how Porsha was doing her pseudo activism, and Kandi decided to like said that she wanted to host a like social justice event, and Porsha felt some type of way about Kandi hosting that event allegedly. Then they said that there was more tea about the Bolo situation, and they had way more footage of like Porsha and the other ladies acting a fool, and they edited that out to give Porsha a better edit. And that was my thing. So a lot of people felt like production is always trying to protect Porsha. And I don't know if this is the same production company that works for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because if it is, they are mad at Porsha and they are not doing her any favors. But I also don't know if this is a brand new production company and they haven't built that relationship with Porsha where they're just like, girl, we gonna edit it how it's being presented. And it's not looking good for Miss Porsha. So Lauren is talking about how like she wants to take everybody on a retreat because everybody's in a different place in their life. So you have Porsha with Simon and her trying to figure out how to co-parent and blend her family. Then you have Londi, or I think it's Londi. Yeah, Londi, where, you know, unfortunately she just recently lost her father and like she's still like grieving. And then Lauren and Nate. So I don't know if Nate is Lauren's daughter's father or just like a boyfriend, but her and Nate are like on this on again off again relationship, and it hasn't been the best. Like they do a flashback of her crying on FaceTime, talk about I don't like being yelled at. And I don't know if Lauren is just extra sensitive or what, because I'm like, no, the dude shouldn't be yelling at you, but I got his reasoning for being like concerned, because he was like, why are you meeting up with Simon? You don't know him. And I also think maybe the guy was probably like, girl, this ain't looking too good for your sister, so why are you involving yourself in this? but yet the guy shouldn't be yelling at her. And so Lauren, like, unfortunately starts crying because she's like, all of y'all are telling me to like get over it and move on, but that's hard for me. And it seems like they've probably been on again, off again for a long time. And if this is really her daughter's father, then that means they've been on again, off again for 5 years, because they showed the little girl and she's 5 years old. And I was just kind of like, ooh. So, like, I got where Porsha was coming from, where she was like, I don't like talking about him because I don't like him. And I'm the same way. Like, I have a sister, and like, any of her exes, I don't care. I don't care. They could be sick. I don't care. You did my sister wrong. F you and your couch. I don't care. So Porsha comforts Lauren, and then Lauren suggests like, hey, I think we should all go on a like retreat. So that is leading us to them all being in Mexico and doing all the Mexican stuff at the Mexican retreat thing. So then we see PJ, Dennis's mama, Miss Gina, and Dennis. They go to like some expensive toy store where Dennis ends up spending over $400 on that little girl. Mind you, I was getting so annoyed with her screaming and yelling mommy, mommy to her to Miss Gina, who is her grandma. But I was like, when I saw that they said like PJ's only 2, I said, okay, that makes sense. It's something about when kids turn 2 that they turn into like terrorists. I don't know if the gene in your 2s just it makes you crazy. But yeah, I was just like, ooh, she a lot. The little girl a lot. But she, Dennis spends toys are spending time with her. And you end up finding out that like Miss Gina asked Dennis, like, do you think she really in love with this man? And Dennis is kind of like, I don't really know. Like 2 months ago, me and her were cool. And now all of a sudden you and this man are like engaged. And Miss Gina's like, okay. And so then we end up finding out that like that post that Dennis posted underneath underneath Porsha's birthday pic has got people like got the streets talking. And Dennis was like, yo, I was just trolling. But I'm like, Dennis, you know the situation that Porsha is in, and you putting that does not like that doesn't help. So I was like, trolling for what, bro? So they leave. They talk about going to the birthday barbecue. So they show up to before I say this, Miss Mama Gina. Girl, what is this in the confessional? What is this headdress? I mean, she looks nice, but it's just like, why? It leads on to the fact that like the perception of like you just want to be seen, because that is an outfit that you wear when you want to be seen. Now, like, don't get me wrong, the confessional is for you to like show out and show up. Like, we always talk about people's confessional looks, but this was like a no man Pam. It really was a no man Pam. Like, she looks nice, but it was just like, where are you going, Miss Gina? Where are you going, ma'am? But we're at Porsha's birthday part, her birthday barbecue. The food looked great. I thought the decorations were nice. I like tans and browns and those colors. Yeah, but that food looked delicious. Like that salmon they had in one of them looked delicious. So everybody's there, and that's when we start meeting the family. We finally get to see Lisa, which is Lauren's mom. Side note, y'all, I guess Lauren was calling me out or something. I don't know if this person is Lauren. So I'm going to say allegedly Lauren was calling me out on Twitter because I was having a conversation with someone. Mind you, I didn't add her. The reason why I say allegedly this is Lauren, even though this person has the exact same name as Lauren, they only have 20 followers. So it doesn't make sense because Lauren has been on TV since the early 2000s with Porsha. And has gone and then if you go on Lauren's IG, Lauren has over almost close to 500K followers. So I think her Twitter would be close to that too. So I don't think this person is Lauren, but I just thought it was comical because, and I'm gonna put the thing up. So y'all should definitely follow me on Twitter and talk to me. But like, yeah, I was just like, okay, girl, whatever. But I digress. So it's the birthday party and everyone's having a good time. They're waiting. And then like Simon walks in and everyone's kind of just looking at him like, sup? Like nobody's impressed with Simon, but Simon feels the need to like lie in the confessionals and be like, you know, the family like really gravitates to me. And I was like, they really don't. But we end up meeting everybody. We end up meeting grandma, I think it's Anona, which is Porsha's grandma. So that is Miss Diane's mom. We meet Miss Diane's sister, Miss Darlene. And then we meet Miss Darlene's daughter, Storm. Then we also meet Miss Esther. Now, I can already tell that Storm and Miss Esther and Slick, the grandma, want to be seen. I don't know about the aunt yet. But Slick, the things that were coming at this conversation that they had at the barbecue, at the dinner table, or at the picnic table or whatever, I was like, oh, y'all want to be seen. Miss Esther in particular showed herself way too soon because Simon's sitting down after coming in and dropping off his gifts, you know, greeting the family. He talking to one of the cousins, and Miss Esther was like, so Porsha gonna be your last wife, right? And I was like, why are you asking this man this? Like, y'all not friends? And this is someone's birthday. Why are you asking that type of pressing question? Then at the dinner table, she keeps talking about, you know, we know Nigerian men like to have a lot of women. I'm like, okay, girl, shut up, Miss Esther. Shut up. Then you got like Stormy over here talking about like when you and Simon are together, I see y'all unity, y'all be vibing. Then Auntie Darlene is saying the same thing that Storm is saying. And I'm just like, everybody at the table is just a bunch of lame ass yes men. I'm like, does none of, like, it's just, and like her family, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Because the grandma asked Simon while they're at the at the table, they're like, so what makes Porsha so different? And Simon's like, you know, I realized the main thing that was like the same thing that was constant between all three of my marriages was that I'm a rescuer. And I was like, what did you rescue these women from? And that's the part that like boggles my mind about Porsha's family is nobody like pressed the whole I'm a rescuer thing. Like if I was Porsha's family, I would be like, what did you rescue the other women from for you to feel like you have to rescue everybody? And everyone's all like, no, but we see the unity. And I was like, unity my ass. Lies. So then we find out that Lauren is gifting Porsha like a spiritual advisement session with her mentor. And so Porsha's like, excuse me, she's excited. She's okay. She's going along with it. Dennis pops up with his mama as his +1, as his date. And he brings the baby. Lonnie lets us know that the family really does like Dennis, but they also kind of side-eye him for the things he did, like for hurting Porsha. So the conversation is going, Dennis is there, and it just was like, it was awkward because everybody at the table was singing Simon's praises. And I'm like, y'all don't even know Simon. At least what Londi said is that Dennis took the time to get to know everybody. And you can tell he did because he kept referring to Grandma Ione, I think the grandmother as grandma. Like, yeah, we got you, grandma. Like, he was very familiar with the family. So I'm looking at them like, why are y'all singing Simon's praises and y'all don't even know him? Then all of a sudden, Mama Elsa starts crying. And then Porsha's like, Mom, why are you crying? And then the cousin starts crying. Then then the auntie starts crying. And then the grandma starts crying. Because Miss Diana's like, you know, it's that co-parenting, this unity. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What unity do y'all see? Like, they just got together. Like, this 1 month is not an indication of them, like, always being cool with each other. Then you got what's her name? You got Miss Gina. Like, this is where editing got weird, because Miss Gina was just stone faced while everyone was crying, and then they cut back to her and she has full on tears like down her face. And then she says, she's like, I must say, and I must speak from the heart. So I knew she was about to cut off some stuff, but she was just saying like how transitions can be messy, but if we work at it as a family, they'll go smoother. So then, to me, the grandma kind of started it with Miss Gina, because she was very like dismissive of Miss Gina having like saying what she needed to say. Side note, Miss Gina, for y'all to have so much money, I'm gonna need you to get better wigs. Your wigs always look dry and through. Like, that's how you know Porsha don't really like F with Miss Gina the way she say she does, and Miss Gina don't F with Porsha, because Porsha has a whole ass wig, like a weave line, and Miss Gina's weave is always dry and a mess. It is always dry and a mess. The only time her wig has looked good is in that confessional, but everything else is dry and a mess. It's dry and a mess. So then you have I feel like the grandma kicked it off, because grandma to me was dismissive, because immediately she was like, okay, back to me, when they were having a conversation. So then the grandma starts bringing up Dennis's cheating past, which we know Dennis has cheated, and Miss Gina got in her feelings. And this is what I will say. Miss Gina has to take ownership that her son did do Porsha wrong. Like, while Porsha was pregnant, your son cheated on Porsha. Granted, I do think Miss Gina has always seen Porsha as nothing but like a gold digger and a come up trying off her son, because they got pregnant so fast. Like, I don't even think Porsha and Dennis had known each other for like 5 months before she got pregnant with her daughter. So I think Miss Gina has always seen Porsha as someone that has tried to like get off on her son, because you then have like, they start showing flashbacks of like how their relationship hasn't been the best. When Miss Gina proposed them getting a prenup, when she was like, if y'all really wanted to get married, y'all would just go to the justice of peace instead of trying to have this extravagant wedding. And I was just like, she ain't never seen it for her. And I think the optics and the way in which how fast Porsha moves does not help her, because it's like Porsha she hit the gas so quick. So then the grandma is like, I had a son and he was a playboy, and then Miss Gina's like, my son's not a playboy. And then I think the grandma kind of realized that like she hit a nerve with Miss Gina, and it was kind of making her look bad, because she immediately got up, and I was like, somebody should have got her from getting up, because then she goes over to Dennis and she's like, I'm not coming at you. And Dennis was kind of just like, yeah, I know you are coming at me, but I'm cool with you coming at me. But like, can we change the subject? Because he was actively trying to change the subject. And Miss Gina was not having it. Like, she was like, y'all not about to gang up on my son in front of me. So I'm with her in that point. But Miss Gina also has to realize your son is a cheater. We know he's a cheater. His body shows that he's a cheater. He has all these women's names on his back. So what are we talking about? like what are we talking about? Like, your son is a playboy and a cheater. So then it switches over to I was proud of Dennis for getting the family back on track, because he grabbed the mic and they toasted to Porsha, and he deaded whatever was about to happen, because I feel like had they let it go on further, it would have been an issue. So then we see what's her name, y'all? We see Porsha like trying to get ready to go meet Dennis to have like a co-parenting talk or a co-parenting date. And this is where I say Porsha be like saying that she doesn't have feelings for Dennis, but I'm like, why are you trying to figure out what to wear and making sure like you not sending mixed signals? Like, if it's dead, it's dead. That means whatever you wear is whatever. Like, you don't need to wear anything else, So then they go on the co-parenting date. Mind you, I need to go to that restaurant, because like I love, like it just made me like, I love Cuban restaurants where they come out with the meat and they put it little skewers and you get I love them type of restaurants. But yeah, so then Porsha is like talking to Dennis, And like it started off good, but then it got bad, and I knew it was gonna be bad because when she walked in, she felt some type of way that Dennis was trying to fist bump her and didn't get up readily to pull out her chair. And I'm just kind of like, girl, yes, as a man, Dennis should have got up to pull out your chair, but I was with Dennis like, girl, we not together. I'm not about to do special things for you anymore. And mind you, pulling out someone's chair isn't special. But I'm just like, Porsha, I'm with Miss Gina when she says Porsha wants to control everything. Honestly, this episode showed that Porsha is manipulative. Porsha is possessive. And she also is very controlling because she's trying to control Dennis, but also be possessive over him, and also use her relationship with Simon as a way to jab at him in a manipulative way. Because Dennis basically says, like, you know, I kind of still have feelings for you, because she felt some type of way that Dennis was like, yeah, I publicly support y'all. And she was like, publicly? And Dennis was like, yeah, there's something. He was like, honestly, I think what you did is messed up, but like, I'm not going to talk shit about you in the public, which I'm okay with that. I think it's a good thing that Dennis is like, I got your back publicly, but in-house, I'm going to let you know that like what you did was wrong, and it does not make you look any good. Like, it doesn't make you look well. It makes you look really messed up. So the day doesn't, like, the whole co-parenting thing doesn't end up well. Porsha brings up the whole cheating thing, which I feel like she has a right to do, because like Dennis did cheat on her while she was pregnant. And like she said, like, I want to be able to trust the man that I get with as I get older isn't running out there trying to be with younger women as I begin to age. Like, I should not be a concern of mine. And she has a point. It shouldn't be a concern of hers. So then the day ends. I felt like it was real calculated for her to immediately call Simon afterwards and be like, you know, I really didn't think, like, I thought everything was going okay, but I'm seeing that, like, you know, this co-parenting thing might be a little bit harder because he still has feelings. And Simon was like, of course. I found it odd that she was like, Simon respects my mind. And I'm like, I don't think Simon respects you in any way, to be honest. Because I feel like Simon is the reason that Porsha is dropping all her bags. We end up seeing her do like a little thing with Dish Nation. And I'm like, you don't have Dish Nation anymore because you quit. You don't have the chat room thing because it didn't get renewed for a new season. Also, you quit Real Housewives of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So all your like, you really dumped all your eggs in one basket, banking on this relationship with Simon. And it's kind of like, I don't really think it's going to end well. I do think Porsha and Simon are going to get married, because I feel like Porsha is the type of person that wants to prove everything wrong. Not prove everything wrong, but prove everybody wrong about her and about her relationships. But I do not think it's going to end well, because I really feel like the way he was acting when he broke up with Fallon, he going to be on like level 500 when it comes to Porsha when they break up. So then we see Lauren. We meet her mentor who's teaching her the meditation thing. So we meet Lauren. It's Lauren, the meditation lady, Auntie Liz. I kind of like Aunt Liz. And Stormy and Porsha. So they're beating on the thing. And this is why I think I like Aunt Liz, because they were like, oh, we calling on our ancestors. And Aunt Liz, out of nowhere, starts ushering in the Holy Spirit. She said, Holy Spirit, you are welcome. And when I tell you, I watched that episode, like, I watched that section, that scene of them like 4 times, because the shaman lady was taken back. The black man who was helping was like, he was feeling it. Everybody else was like, oh my goodness. Lauren was like embarrassed, but I kind of got where she was coming from, where she was like, you're calling on your on ancestors. She was like, I don't know if this lady is like equipped to handle the ancestors. So she said, I just needed to usher in the spirit. And I said, I get that. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I'm not one to call on the ancestors. Do I believe in them? Yeah, but I see ancestors more like angels in my mind, because it's like, these are people who have passed on and who are protecting you. So maybe that's what Aunt Liz was like, girl, I need to make sure you calling on the right ancestors, the black ones, not the demons. And I screamed. So then, wrapping up this whole video is Miss Gina versus Porsha. So Porsha finds herself trying to check Miss Gina about her tone with her grandma, and Miss Gina don't give up. She really don't. Miss Gina was like, y'all weren't about to embarrass my son. And that's why I said I kind of understand Miss Gina being like, okay, it's just me and my son here. I'm not going to let you like play him in front of me. I'm gonna stand up for mine. But Miss Gina also has to realize your son did Porsha dirty. Then the whole thing that comes up about Porsha cheating on Dennis. And then Miss Gina saying like, well, your mama told me that Porsha cheated, like that you cheated on Dennis. And Porsha's being like, my mama would never. And Miss Gina in her talking, like in her confessional, was like, Porsha's mama basically said that Porsha was talking to somebody else when her and Dennis were like kind of like on the outs. So technically it's not cheating, but I guess because their relationship is so here or there, like it's up and down, that it could be considered, because we don't fucking know. We really don't know. We really don't know. Like, either we don't know when they are together, when they're not together. We really don't know when it comes to Porsha and Dennis and this whole situation. But Miss Gina is saying that Porsha cheated. But Porsha still extends the invitation for Miss Gina to come to Mexico with them with their retreat, and it ends off right there. It looked like it's gonna be some mess because Dennis gets mad and Lauren is trying to tell Dennis to calm down. Dennis getting mad at Lauren. It's this show is ghetto and it's messy, but I'm down for the ride. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That's all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in my comments below. Let me know what y'all think. Like, let me know. But yeah, y'all, I'm out.